The courtroom is in full swing. The bailiff calls for everyone to rise as Judge Thunder takes the bench. The room falls silent as the judge enters, and the atmosphere shifts. The case of Mr. Wilson is called, and the air is thick with anticipation. Mr. Wilson steps forward, addressing the court with a calm but determined voice. He explains that he is seeking a reduction in his child support payments due to a significant change in his financial circumstances. Once working for the city, Mr. Wilson now finds himself self-employed and making considerably less. His case, like many, hinges on proving the financial strain he's under. The judge listens intently, asking the pivotal question, where is Mrs. White? The tension rises.
Judge, this is the case, Mr. Wilson.
Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Wilson, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here today to request that the court reduce my child support that I currently pay my ex-wife. Currently I pay $800 a month, but up until last year I worked for the city, and now I'm currently self-employed, and I make considerably less money. So I was requesting that my child support be lowered to reflect that.
Before we go any further, where is Mrs. White?
I don't know.
You sent her notice that she was supposed to be here today, right?
Yes, she was served.
Okay. So I guess she didn't understand how serious this was today. All right. So you said that you used to work for the city.
Yes.
And now you're self-employed.
Yes, I am.
And what do you do self-employed?
The room waits as Mr. Wilson responds, confirming that Mrs. White was served notice, but has failed to appear in court. The judge seems unimpressed with her absence, quickly moving on to the details of Mr. Wilson's financial situation. His explanation is clear. He owns a tow truck business, but expenses are high, and income has dropped. The judge listens as Mr. Wilson presents his evidence, a mix of receipts, tax returns, and proof of his expenses. It's a story of struggle, of a man trying to adjust to a life of reduced income. As the judge reviews his tax return, the numbers tell a clear story. His earnings have significantly dropped to about $3,700. The judge takes a moment to reflect, then speaks decisively.
I own a tow truck business company.
Okay. Are you making more money or less money now?
I'm making less money. I have a lot more expenses being self-employed, but I make less money.
All right, all right. So based on what you provided to the court, you have some receipts.
Yes, I do.
Showing what you pay in what daycare expenses. I also see a 1099 here that you have from workers. You have what, 2 employees?
Yes.
Then I'm also seeing a tax return here. Based on this tax return, I have your earnings. It has gone down. It has gone down. I have you at about $3,700 now.
Yes, that's about
gross.
right. I make about $47,000 a year.
All right. So you say you pay $200 a month in health insurance?
For him, yes.
And this is for him only, full
Yes.
coverage for only him, not you and him.
Yeah, it's about with both.
The judge asks a critical question. What are you paying in health insurance? Mr. Wilson answers, explaining that he pays $200 a month for his son's insurance, and an additional $250 for both of them. The clarity in his response shows he's prepared, but the details will matter. The judge nods thoughtfully, adding up the numbers in front of him. After considering all the evidence, he announces a new child support amount of $566.85, a reduction from the previous $800. The courtroom is quiet. The judge's voice cuts through the silence, finalizing the decision. This moment, though technical, feels like a weight being lifted, at least for Mr. Wilson.
Both of us, it's about $450.
Okay. Just want to make sure because you don't get any credit for yourself. It's only credit for health insurance for your son. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So based on that, I have your net and giving you credit for the $200 that you pay in health insurance for your son comes out to about $2,834.23, which would bring your new child support amount to $566.85.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson, I do appreciate you being here today and being timely. Thank you. I didn't want you to think that just because Mrs. White decided not to show up today for court, that the court could not move forward. Because in Texas courts, once you are served, you're on notice with a hearing, you have to appear. And if you do not appear, the other side who's bringing the case does still have the opportunity to ask the court for some sort of relief. So you're here today asking for your child support to be reduced.
The judge then turns his attention to the more human side of the case, Mrs. White's absence. Despite being served notice, she has chosen not to show. The judge remains calm, but firm in his explanation. Once you're served, you have to appear, he states, his voice tinged with authority. He makes it clear that the court cannot be held hostage by one party's failure to participate. Despite the absence of Mrs. White, the case continues, and Mr. Wilson's request is granted. The judge reminds the parties involved that missing court is not an option in the future. Justice, it seems, will continue regardless of anyone's presence.
You submitted evidence to support your stance. She had the opportunity to be here and contest whatever it was that you submitted in court, your 1099s, your tax return, even some of the receipts that you provided. But it was a missed opportunity for her because she decided not to come to court. So in the future, whenever you need to come back to court, maybe to change your order, life change or something like that, just make sure that you always send notice to that other person, because you are able to still receive some sort of relief although they fail to show up, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything further?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're dismissed. Hi guys, it's Vonda Bailey, and I'm coming to you as the lawyer this time. We have arrived at the educational portion of our show. I just wanted to go over what this segment would cover and how the different scenarios interact with child support under Texas law.
The educational moment begins as the screen transitions to a lawyer discussing what happens when one party fails to appear in court. What happens when someone misses court after being served? The lawyer asks rhetorically. The court will default the absent party, she explains. The term default judgment is introduced, a powerful concept in the courtroom. The lawyer goes on to explain that a default judgment doesn't mean the case is over, but it gives the person present the right to have their case heard, with the judge making a decision based on the available evidence. The lawyer's words are clear, no nonsense, as she outlines the rules.
Served to be at a hearing for child support court, but I failed to show up. What happens in that case? Well, let me explain to you what happens in support court with Judge Vonda B. You will receive what's called a default judgment. That's right. As well as in many courts in Texas, if you do not appear after you have been served with a notice of a hearing, you will be defaulted by the court. What does default mean? Default means that whatever the relief that the person who brought the lawsuit was requesting, the court has the discretion to give them that very relief. Now, you do still have to put on your testimony. You still have to provide evidence to the court. The court just won't take your word for it and say, okay, you need a reduction in child support, I'm just going to reduce it. That's not the case. You still are required to put on your evidence. So just keep in mind that although you do not...
The lawyer continues her breakdown, delving into the implications of a default judgment. You still have to present your evidence, she warns, but not showing up won't stop the court from moving forward with the case. It's a key takeaway, even when one side fails to appear, the court can still make a decision based on the evidence presented. This is a critical lesson for anyone considering skipping a court date, as the consequences can be severe. In the case of child support, it can mean a change in financial obligations, with no chance to contest the outcome. The lawyer concludes by emphasizing that showing up to court is always the best move for anyone involved in legal proceedings.